Hello and welcome to the EFA Tutorial 2.0, Part 1, Site Manager. We have already opened the program EFA. What we'll do first is save the EFA document command Save As. After that, we can select the language. Under File, Settings, Application, Language, we can choose between English or German. After choosing a language, please restart the program. EFA has three sections: the Program Manager, the Floor Plan Manager, and the Site Manager. All of these sections belong together, are combined underneath each other, but can be used separately. Under Help, you can find all of the commands explained in detail. We are going to explain EFA in three parts, and we'll start with the part Site of the program. To do so, we go to Plan, and import an Archicad, AutoCAD or another sketching program file as site plan by clicking on Linked CAD file. This can contain 2D but also 3D information. Here we can see 2D information but also 3D information. We'll zoom in a little bit. Why do we use the Site Manager? Because we want to try to develop different kinds of building site studies with the corresponding characteristics as quickly as possible. To do so, we need a building line. This equals the property line. This here is the building line. Using F, Enter, we can use already existing lines, right mouse click, and this turns into the building line. We can also enter a new building line as outside boundary, anti-clockwise and close by pressing C, or clockwise as an inner courtyard. Go to Invert to change the direction of the arrows. By clicking on the building line, I can see on the side that it has different features: maximum height, maximum mass density. These are the specifications that affect the property. These are the characteristics of the analysis. Here are the configurations. Under View and Show Envelope, I can see the maximum area that can be built upon. I can now limit this area, for example here by entering the figure 1 in elevation. This means the building will not begin up until 1 meter altitude. I reset, go to Slope and set 1. The slope of the roof now has 45 degrees. Under V Offset, I determine an eaves height of 18 meters. And under H Offset, 3 meters for the distance to the property line. This is now my maximum area that I can build upon. Now I will do my first building study. I go to Typology. These are preset typologies. And I choose, for example, the high-rise type, point, 4 units, go to Update, and shortly after I have my first building study with characteristics. I know the plot size, the gross volume, but I also know how many flats of each 75 square meters I'll get. 168 units, and how many cores I need. 6 cores. I can also relocate the buildings. The green space means I met the building regulations. I could, for example, block this house and only let the others be rearranged. This house is activated and I go to Locked, Yes. Now this house is blocked. If you wish, you can add your own houses without typologies. For the other houses, I would like to have different roof types. To do so, we have several possibilities. I choose the roof type HIP and go to Update. Now my buildings have roofs. This means that the roof space is being fully used and the houses with the sloping roofs are shifting to the building line. I unblock the building object again and go to another typology, pergola linear, SLC. And update. Under target volume, I can set by regulations or unlimited. By regulations means Eva will consider all my limiting specifications for the characteristics of the building line. I choose unlimited to find out the maximum development under observance of the exposure. Update. There are now 126 flats, 3 cores and a GFA of 13,856 square meters. Now we can align the buildings. There are more functions such as the attractor line. In the moment I'm sketching an attractor line. The building objects align in the surroundings. Always finish by right mouse click. I can see that I now have again 126 units but different figures in the GFA. One more function, the setback line, means I want a bigger gap between the building objects. Draw lines and finish by right mouse click. I set the characteristics of the setback line to slope 1, V offset, 18 meters, but H offset, this time 20 meters. Now the gauge changes and after updating also the building. For example, I used up less build-up area for the same amount of units. We now delete the setback line and the attractor line and go to perimeter block. Instead of aligned, by updating we obtain a circular building with an inner courtyard. There are 210 units now and 5 cores necessary. We have a bigger gross floor area. Everything I have sketched here I can import directly. I go to File, Export Project, DXF, and receive a DXF file with the information of the typology. I could also export an Excel list or a PDF. Here in Archicad I can see the pergola, the staircase core with 30 meters distance minimum, and the flats each with 75 square meters. And I can keep on editing in the plan here. If the unlikely case should occur, Eva crashes because of contradictory inputs, a backup file will automatically be created with the ending AVE, which can be redefined into an Eva file. This is the ending of Part 1 Site Manager.